Hi, I'm Heather, and I am 37 weeks pregnant, and I'm here with my doula, Josie Cawthon, who has been working for 23 years and has 7 children of her own, which blows my mind. So I wanted to ask her some questions about the benefits of having a doula during pregnancy and labor. So thank you for talking with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So first off, how did you become a doula?
Okay, so many years ago I was pregnant with my 6th child, and my niece had become pregnant at the same time, unexpectedly. She had some doubts about everything, and so it was very emotional for her, obviously, and for the family. After having the baby, she did breastfeed the first day, and she did fine. The second day, when I checked in with her, she had told me that her nurse handed her a bottle and said, "It's the same thing." And I said, "No, it's not the same thing at all." And she was like, "Well, what do you know? You're not a nurse." And I was like, "You're right, I'm not a nurse. It's okay. Well, I will see you later." And I hung up with her. I called the front desk and I asked to speak with her nurse to share with her that this was very important and that it's not the same, and we would like for somebody to come in there and help her. The nurse actually connected me with a lactation consultant, which later on we became really good friends. We found out that we had a lot in common, and so they were short on childbirth educators. And she told me that I'd be really good at it, that they were doing a course at the hospital. So I attended that and loved it, absolutely loved it. Started teaching classes right away. It was wonderful to be able to see, honestly, the parents' eyes light up to, when they understood something. They were like, "Oh, wow, I didn't know that." That really kind of fed me. I was like, "Wow, that's so cool. I get to share something with you that you didn't know," and bring a little bit more excitement as opposed to fear in the whole process of having a baby. So my friend said, "Hey, have you heard of this doula program thing?" And I had known about it for a while, but it kind of just never really entered my mind again. And I shared it with my husband, and he was like, "You know what? Why don't you do that? That sounds like something you'd really enjoy." So we went, we took the course, and it felt right, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so once I became a doula, I didn't have to advertise or anything because I was already teaching, and it was a great way to kind of continue care from first meeting them, they're pregnant, walking them through pregnancy, then labor and birth, and even postpartum. So it was such a great way to just continue that care, and I absolutely loved it.
I love that. Yes, I love hearing your story. It's so sweet.
Thank you.
What are some ways that having a doula can help the day of labor, like pain management, for instance?
Okay. So when you hire us, we do 3 classes beforehand. So we go over, the first one we go over nutrition, hydration, exercise. We go over anatomy to understand what the baby's doing during the process of labor and what you can be doing to help out as well. The second one, we go over all of the pain management techniques. So at least we've gone through it before, and it's somewhere in your brain in the middle of all these emotions, right, when you're in labor. And then the third one, we go over breastfeeding and postpartum. So when we go to a mom's house, the parent's house, we'll help them refocus on why we're here, right? Because sometimes it's overwhelming and it just feels like we're dealing with, this pain that keeps coming and not necessarily understanding or living in the moment of, hey, I'm going to deliver a baby soon. So we help them with their breathing. We change positions depending on how she's feeling. I'm trying to get really good just motion in order to help the baby come down in actually a quicker way.
Yeah.
So we're trying to shorten the labor as well.
I love that. And whenever I've been in labor before, I just stay on my bed, hold my pillow, I don't move. So I'm really excited to get up and start moving and see how that helps the baby come out. Because I'm never really thinking about the baby. I'm just thinking about myself. I've got to get through this.
Yeah.
So I see how, refocusing on the baby can be so powerful.
Absolutely.
And I love your visual of the baby coming through.
Yes.
Do you mind sharing that?
Not at all, not at all. So it's important to understand what our bodies can do, right? Baby stuff. Okay, let's leave her in here.
She's not ready to come out.
Not ready to come out. All right, so understanding the pelvis is really important because it's not, you were mentioning, Heather, how you like to lay down. And so when we lay down or even on our side, we're not really opening up as much. But when we're in an upright position, and I'm just going to engage the baby here at the top, right? Let it go. But if we are upright and we open up our pelvis and start to sway, we can really shorten the process, right? So I love this because I find that a lot of dads are more engaged in the process with their words. They'll say, remember the pelvis. It's okay, you can move. Like, you can move a little bit more. Or even helping with the breathing. You know, dads are very, very involved, and they're tired at the end too. We make sure that they work just,
Try to remember about them, everything they went through.
Absolutely. You know, they need a back rub too.
Yeah.
But they can be so, they are so key to the whole process. The more a dad is engaged, you feel more secure, right? So the mom feels safe and supported, and that can be a great way to just connect at a different level, right? You've done it before, but when a dad is there and attentive, it kind of really does, it's a different level of intimacy, right? Just knowing that he is watching your cues and he's trying to, you know, meet those needs at the moment. And we coach him too. Right. Because lots of times they get scared.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to do, I don't want to do it wrong, or don't want to speak or touch the wrong way, right? So we can really kind of coach them so that they can be more involved in.
Right, and then I find that so encouraging. So I'm like, oh, my husband thinks I can do a great job, so it makes me feel like empowered.
Absolutely. There's no affirmation like from your spouse for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know you've mentioned eating and drinking during labor to be so beneficial. How does that help?
Well, staying hydrated is super, super important. Our muscles need that hydration. When we think about long distance runners or marathon runners, oftentimes that's labor and running a marathon is equated all the time, right? But they're being handed water all the time. They're being handed, you know, string cheese, some protein, something to kind of let their body have something to run off of. Right? So hydration, if you're not hydrating enough, it can really weaken that muscle. It'll still clamp down, but it'll just be a lighter and more often. When we're hydrated, then the muscle can function so much better. And again, we need the calories because we're burning so much. And some fruit is really good. I love, like, frozen grapes are actually pretty awesome.
They're like candy.
They are. They're like candy. They're cold, they're sweet, and they have that natural sugar to just boost our energy.
Yes. Yeah, and when I'm working out, I feel like I need all of that. And yeah, when you're giving birth, it's like so much more intense.
Absolutely, without a break.
Yes,
Not much break. You
totally.
do little ones.
And when I was in labor with my first, my midwife was like shoveling raw honey in my mouth, and I kept giving her dirty looks, but it helped so much.
Yes,
so I see the benefits.
Yes.
Well, if someone is in the area and they would like to speak with you or hire you, where can they find you?
They can go to sabirthblessings.com, and that's our website and our phone number, and you can call and set up a free consultation and see if we're the right fit.
Awesome. Yeah, and this is my third kid, first time having a doula, and I have already learned so much. You'd think that I'd know more after having a couple kids, but no. So thank you so much for all of your information.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.